Boys and girls, now this is, if you are absent, this will help you catch up. This is what we did in class. What we did in class today. So the last couple days, we've been looking at different methods to use when solving percent problems. I believe yesterday you looked at double number lines. And the previous day, we looked at what's called a percent proportion, as well as percent times the whole equals the part. Today and tomorrow, in the next couple of days, we're going to focus on a method that we use quite a bit in percents, and that is percent proportion. So on the top of this page, what we're going to do is write the percent proportion. Part, whoop, broke the pencil already. Part over whole equals percent over 100. Using percent proportion is quite helpful to find one of these missing pieces, the part, the whole, or the percent. So in order to use this, we need to have two of them, either the part or the whole and the percent, or the part of the percent. So as we're working today, you'll notice that when using the percent proportion, the first thing we'll do is ask ourselves, well, what do we have, the part, whole, or percent? So let's check out this first one here. 15 is 30% of what number? Now, we're going to use percent proportion to figure out what that number is. So every time I use it, I'm going to write this down. P over W, part over whole, equals percent over 100. Now, we're writing this down for two reasons. One, it will help us remember it. The more we write it, the more we'll remember it. And two, it'll also show us like how to set up the problem. The part goes on top, the whole on the bottom, the percent goes on top, the 100 on the bottom. Well, that right there, that 30% is obviously the percent. So we know we have the percent. So what we have to do now is figure out whether 15 is the part or the whole. Here's a little trick. Couple tricks. 15 is 30%. So 30% is not the whole thing. That's just part of it. 30% is part. So 15 is that part. So 15 would be the part. The other way to tell, I'm just going to label that, that's the part, is after the word of comes the whole. 30% of, well, it says what number? We don't know what that number is, meaning we don't know what the whole is. So if you ever see of, after the of is going to be the whole. And since we don't have a number after that, that means we're missing the whole. So we have the part, that's 15. We don't have the whole. So I'm going to put a little circle here. 30 goes on top out of 100. Now this number here will tell us what 15 is 30% of. So how do we get can we get from 30 to 15 in one step? You bet we can. You bet we can. You can divide by 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So whatever we do to the top, we're going to do the same thing to the bottom. 100 divided by 2 is 50. That means 15 is 30% of 50. And that's how we'd find the whole, using percent proportion. All right, let's try another one using the same method. Same method here. 225 is 75% of what number? Well, I'm first going to start off by writing the percent proportion. Part over whole equals percent over 100. Well, believe it or not, that's the percent. 75 is the percent. 225 is 75%. So that means that it's the part. It's the part of the number. And of course, we have that of again, and we don't know the number. So we don't know the whole. We're looking for the whole, but we have the part and the percent. So let's find it. Let's find that whole. Part is 225. So wherever part goes, I'm going to put it on top. 225. The whole goes on the bottom. Since we don't know the whole, there you go. Put a big circle. The percent is 75. And the 100 is 100. Okay, so how do we get from 75 to 225? I don't think it's 2. Let's try 3. So off to the side, I'm going to try 75 times 3. Let's see what we get. 5 times 3 is 15. Put the 5 down, carry the 1. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22. So it would be 3. We're going to multiply by 3 on the top and on the bottom. 100 times 3 is 300. So let's say I had 300 jelly beans and I ate 75% of them. That means I would have eaten 225 of those jelly beans. That's quite a bit. But that's kind of putting it into a context, putting it into a story. That's what that would mean. All right, so 225 is 75% of 300. It's closer to 100%. That's why 225 is closer to the whole than maybe the 15 was to 50 over here. All right, if you want to try this one on your own, you can. We're going to use the same method. Part over whole equals percent over 100. We have the percent. We know that for sure. 75 is 15% of, we don't know the number. That's going to be the whole. We have the part. So let's set it up. 75 is the part. It's going to go on top. The whole we do not know. The 15 is the percent. And we're trying to get to 100. Okay, now, is there a way to get from 15 to 75 in one step? You know what? I think there is. Let's check. 4 wouldn't work because 15 times 4 is 60. So let's try 5. Just a guess. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 down, carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 75. So we would multiply by 5. You get 500. So let's say I was going to run 500 yards and I only got 75 yards. That means I only went 15%. So 15% is not that much, which makes sense because if I was going to run 500 yards, I only ran 75, I would not have run that much. So this answer makes sense because 75 and 500 are pretty far apart, and 15% is kind of small. All right, last one here. Again, you can try this one on your own. It kind of set up as the same problem, the problems previously, kind of the same type of thing here. We got 9 is 36% of what number? Again, we have the percent. 9 is that 36%, so 9 is going to be the part. And we don't know the number, so that's what we're looking for is the whole. We don't know the whole. 9 goes on top. It's the part. Give me a moment. If you want to try again, if you want to finish this one on your own, go for it. There you go. We're trying to look for that whole. 36 is the percent that goes on top out of 100. All right, now, hopefully we can do this in one step. Can we get from 36 to 9 in one step? I believe we can. We'd have to divide because we're going from a greater number to a lesser number. So we're going to divide by 4 because I know 9 times 4 is 36. So 36 divided by 4, if you go the inverse, go backwards, would be 9. 100 divided by 4, well, that's like quarters. There's 4 quarters in a dollar, so that'd be 25. So if you were taking a quiz, let's say, and you got 9 out of 25 right, not that great of a score, you would only get a 36%. So that's just kind of showing, again, how you can relate the whole to the part and what percent it would be. All right. So all these 4 problems were very similar. We were all looking for the whole, and we had the part and the percent. And these were kind of easy too because they were one step. They were all one step. So at some point we'll see ones that maybe are a little bit more complex than this. That might take 1 or 2 steps to find the answer. All right, let's try some of these below here. Page 15 still. Here we go. So we're going to use percent proportion again. We have to figure out, do we have the part, whole, or percent? A store is having a sale where winter clothes are 60% of the original price. A sweater is on sale for $30. What was the original price of the sweater? All right, well, I'm going to use percent proportion. Whoop, broke the pencil again. Part over whole equals percent over 100. All right, let's see what we have here. We got 60% And 60% would of course be the percent. And now we're thinking about this $30. The $30 is the sale price. And then it's asking what was the original price. Now the original price would be like the whole price. That's what we're looking for. So again, we do have the percent in the part. We're looking for the whole price, the original price, what that formerly was before the sale. So to set this up, I'm going to put the part on top, 30. Percent on the bottom. I'm sorry, not percent on the bottom. Circle where the whole would be. Percent would go on top of the next ratio. Oh, this one's going to be kind of easy too. Whoop, the lights turned off. I'm going to just turn the lights back on real quick. Pardon me for the delay. Pardon me. All right. So hopefully you notice that we can easily get from 60 to 30 and then from 100 to the mystery number. We're going in this direction because that's the direction we need to go to find the mystery number. 60 divided by 2 would be 30. And then we do the same thing to the bottom. 100 divided by 2 is 50. So the answer would be $50. So that sweater was $50. And the sale price, it was 60% of this price. The sale price was $30. You saved $20. Not bad. That's not bad. I might get that sweater. All right. I like this one. At a zoo, an Asian elephant eats roughly 5% of its body weight each day. So just to think about that, if somebody weighed like 100 pounds, that means they eat 5 pounds of food each day. That's 5% of their weight. So that's a lot of food. That's quite a bit. If an Asian elephant eats 300 pounds of food, how much does it weigh? All right, let's use that percent proportion. Part over whole equals percent over 100. Again, we want to write that each time to help set us up and to help remember what it is. 5%, well, you know what? That's the percent. Now, this 300 pounds of food, would that be the part or the whole? Now, let's think about what we're looking for. How much does it weigh? That would be its whole weight, its total weight. This 300 pounds is part of its weight. That's how much food it eats every day. That's that 5%. 300 is 5% of what number? We're looking for the whole. So this must be the part. All right. Looking for that whole again. Once again, let's set this thing up here. The part is 300 pounds. That's how much food they eat. That's quite a bit. The whole, we don't know. That's what we're looking for. That's how much the elephant weighs. The percent is 5, and the 100 is 100. All right, so we have to somehow go from 100 to this number. We can get from 5 to 300 in one step. If I cover up that 0 here, 5 goes into 30, we'd multiply 5 by 6 to get to 30. So to get to 300, we multiply by 60. Do the same thing on the bottom. 100 times 60. Well, 1 times 60 is 60. 10 times 60 is 600. 100 times 60 is 6,000. Good for that elephant. 6,000 pounds. That's 3 tons, by the way. That's 3 tons. That elephant weighs 6,000 pounds. Good for that elephant. So again, we were finding the whole. That's the whole using percent proportion. All right. Couple more here. Kai calculates that he spends 15% of a school day in science class. If he spends 75 minutes in science class, how many minutes does Kai spend in school? All right. We're going to use percent. Let's use that percent proportion. Okie dokie. 15% of the school days in science class. Well, that's the percent, believe it or not. Got that down. 75 minutes is in science class. We're trying to find how many minutes are in his school day. So what would be the part? What would be the whole? It seems like this would be the part because it's not his whole day. This is the whole day. That's what we're trying to find. How many minutes does he spend in school? That would be the whole amount of time. So again, we're finding the whole again. We have the part. We're finding the whole. 75 would be the part. The whole, we don't know. Now I'm getting deja vu here because I believe we did this already to go from 15 to 75. I believe if you look 2 problems above it, there it is. We would multiply by 5, just like we did up there. You get the same answer pretty much. Well, sort of, because this one has a label on it, so it's not necessarily the same exact answer. 100 times 5 is 500. 500 minutes he spends in school. Now, that's quite a bit. That's like 8.5 hours. So I think that would be more, that'd be quite a bit more time than you guys spend. That's like 2 extra hours that he spends in school. Well, maybe he goes to a different district. All right, so 500 minutes for that one. This last one is my favorite one. Love this one. This one's a little tricky. Again, if you want to try this one on your own, this is a challenging one. Well, let's see how it goes. The interior paint color, Melon Madness, is 30% yellow, 70% green. Raul used 72 ounces of yellow paint to mix the last batch. How many ounces of Melon Madness did he make in the last batch? How many ounces of green did he use to make the last batch? Okay, this is a tricky one. So, we're trying to find this. There's 2 questions here. How many ounces of Melon Madness did he make? And we have he used 72 ounces of yellow. And I'm thinking about this word yellow because we have yellow here too. 30% yellow, 72 ounces of yellow. We want to find how much paint he made. So I'm thinking that's the total. We're trying to, for question 1, I'm just going to label that question 1. We're trying to find the total amount, the whole. We have the percent, which is the 30%, and we have the part, which is the 72 ounces. Oh, this is going to be a good one. I can already tell. I can feel it in my bones. All right. Part over whole equals percent over 100. I'm feeling good about this. All right. 72 is the part, so I'm going to put it on top. The whole, we don't know. We're trying to find the whole. That's how much paint. And then we got 30% yellow out of 100. Okay, here's where it gets a little tricky. We can't really get from 30 to 72 easily. But we can divide or simplify 30 hundredths to make it easier to work with. So, what can we divide 30 and 100 by? Divide it by 2, but if we divide by 2, we'll get to 15, and I don't know if we can get from 15 to 72. What about 3? If we divide by 3, we'll get to 10. I'm not sure if we get from 10 to 72. What about 10? Divide by 10, you get to 3. We might get from 3 to 72. I'm pretty sure about that. So let's divide by 10. This one's a little weird. I like this one. So we have to simplify it because we can't get from 30 to 72. 30 divided by 10 is 3. 10 divided by 10 is 10. All right. Now, to get from 3 to 72, I think I know what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to do it off to the side. I'm going to put 72 in that dividend end, divide by 3. 3 goes into 7 twice. 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract to get 1. Let's bring down that 2. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times 3 is 12. You get 0. All right, so we're going to multiply by 24. So we're going from 3 to 72 now. Because we got a 3 here, we can get from 3 to 72 by multiplying by 24. We're going to do the same thing on the bottom. Multiply by 24. 10 times 24 is 240. Ta-da! Now, that's the answer to the first question. How many ounces of Melon Madness did he make? Now, there's not a lot of room here, but I guess I'll just write that here. 240 ounces. The next question is, how many ounces of green? How many ounces of green? Well, this is the total. That's how much yellow he used. So to find the green, all we'd have to do is subtract it. Because whatever is, according to the information here, 30% yellow, the rest of it's green. So if we just subtract 72 from 240, we'll find how much green we have. Can't wait. Can't wait. So I'm going to put 240 on top. So subtract 72. That would be negative. So we're going to regroup there. 10 minus 2 is 8. Regroup again. 13 minus 7 is 6. 1 minus nothing is 1. All right, and that's going to be ounces. So I know it's a little bit of a mess here, but there's the answer to the first problem, 240. Here's the answer to the next question. How many ounces of green? This is the green. All right, so I wish I had more space for that one. I apologize, it got a little messy, but hopefully that made sense. That'll catch you up for today, and hopefully you see you soon. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.